I'm calling you again, cause I'm feeling this treason. The more I go to you, the more the devil sends demons.
Welcome, ladies and gents. I'd like to introduce to you none other than Mr Haz, Oxford Zone, Oxford's finest. He's got a new project out, a new album dropping soon. I mean, he's a man of many talents, but we're here specifically today to talk about his music. So I'd like to introduce to you Mr Haz. Mr Haz, how you doing, my brother?
I'm good. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate the intro.
Come on, man.
Yeah, so today we're here to talk about my brand new album.
I'd like for us to start with the title. What's the title of your new album?
Okay, so the title of the album is Rumbling in the Rubble.
Wow, okay. And what does that mean? What do you mean by that?
Okay, so Rumbling in the Rubble is like, look, I was defeated. I was down. I wasn't defeated, but I was down, you know? And that was the part of me that was in the rubble. So if you think about rubble on top of somebody, they may not have survived that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
However, I did survive it. And the rumbling in the rubble is a suggestion that, you know, I'm actually still here. And not only am I still here, but I'm coming back, you know? So that's kind of like the theme behind Rumbling in the Rubble.
That's very powerful imagery.
Thank you.
I like that. It's a great title for what I believe you probably covered in most of the tracks as it plays through the project.
Yeah.
You're covering topics that relate to this title, I believe so, right?
Yeah.
So you have 18 tracks.
That's right.
On this album, and I got a list here of all of the titles of the songs. Let's start with one. Let's see. So let's start with Keep Still.
Okay.
Do you want to tell us a bit more about that? Like,
yeah, sure.
Still?
So Keep Still is the first track on the album.
Right.
But it's more of so this is actually the mind state that I have reached. I'm starting with this because I want to make it clear that I'm actually no longer in this space. That you'll witness as you go through this album.
Right.
At the end of Keep Still, it has a rewind effect, which leads then into the album. So it's like, this is where I'm at now, but let's come with me on my journey.
Okay.
You know?
That's very interesting.
And that's produced by The Vigilante.
That's very interesting. So you have it's produced by The Vigilante. I'm aware that you collaborated with a number of producers on this project.
Yeah.
Would you want to tell us a bit about the producers and how that came about?
Of course. So there's The Vigilante, there's Drasley, there's E6, and Teflon the Don on this specific album.
Wow.
And these guys are hugely talented. You know, in that they have their own way of attacking production.
Right.
But yeah, fantastic producers, brilliant.
Okay. There's also a track on this album with a very interesting individual that you have featuring. The name of the song is called The Alliance. I like for you to break down this one.
The Alliance.
Yeah.
Okay, well, The Alliance is featuring a wonderfully talented artist, a very gifted artist, and his name is Gorygang.
Okay.
And he we can talk in first person again now.
I was like, you
came on that track brilliantly. The way that you kind of your wordplay in your verse was, phenomenal.
Likewise. I mean, I just wanted to say I brought that up because I just wanted to say that it's an honor to be on this project, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be on it. And when you called me and threw me that beat and what you've done on it, phenomenal stuff. So I'm very happy and pleased to be a part of it. And it's also produced by The Vigilante again.
Yeah. Well, look at it like this. In this album, this is the furthest I have gone with telling my story. I've gone into everything: the pain, the overcoming of the pain, the things that led me to each stage of the journey. And you were there for me to support me within that journey. So it's only right to have you on the album as a brother as well. and as someone who understands the journey. You understand it.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, it's an honor to be part of it, and obviously, being someone who was journeyed with you through a lot of different journeys. I think it's only right that I should have been on it. So
exactly.
So thank you. It's also like an extensive piece of work. Yeah, you covered 18 tracks of music, covering different like angles of the same sort of topic. So let's go with I'm Tired.
Okay.
That stood out, that this title stands out.
Yeah. I'm Tired is a very vulnerable song. You know, there are empowering songs on this album, and I didn't want to pretend that there weren't stages where I was tired.
Yeah.
I was not done, but you question things.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I'm Tired is it was at that point. You know.
Yeah. I think it's so important, isn't it? As individuals, we're only human. And it's also it's very important that we share this part of ourselves as well, so we don't mislead people into thinking that because a lot of the time, especially with the social media and everything, people only just share things that lean more towards their strengths. And I think is very admirable that you chose to share your vulnerability. Okay, so I know I spoke about myself as a feature. But I know there's other like artists here as well. Do you want to like discuss, talk a bit about the others who feature on this album?
Okay, so we've got an Orthodox fella. We've got K Wills. We've got Jackson Top. We've got, of course, yourself, Gorygang'S.
Yep.
We've got Teflon the Don.
Of course.
And we've got Tanner Ropes. And these are the features. And a bit like with the producers, everybody brought their own style of attack for each track, you know? I've also not gone out of my circle of people for this album, you know? Everybody on this album I've worked with before this project.
Is it because it's like a very personal...
So it's personal, and it's also about, I know that the people that I selected for this project, producers and artists, I've worked with them before, and I know that their craft is brilliant, you know, and it needed to be for this, because this album, it means a lot to me, you know.
Okay. So do you want to like I was gonna ask you a bit about this sort of so we're discussing the theme of the album. And I know that obviously when people will receive it, they will listen and figure out how that plays out. But how about the sound of it? What sort of sound did you go for in terms of production? Like, what should we expect?
So, good question. I like that question. Heavy. So a lot of these beats have got a dark undertone. A lot of the beats represent how I was feeling in that period of time. And there are a few tracks to break that up. You know, there are a few tracks to break that up, so that the whole thing is not just dark and all about pain. There is a lot of there's a good amount of tracks in there that are different types of expression, things like that. But the main theme for the storytelling side of things was to have these kind of dark hip hop beats.
Okay, so there is a very powerful title here that stands out, and I'm sure it will be one that stands out on the album as well, because I've listened to this, I've heard this song. I have the privilege. I'm in a privileged position to have a brother like this who is so talented and is an artist who can show me stuff even before it comes out. And this is Me, Myself, and the Holy Ghost. Now tell us about this one.
Yes, so Me, Myself, and the Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
You know what I have learned the most in this journey through all the pain, through all the heartbreak, through the loss, through everything, is that God never left me. God never left me. He always stayed with me. And so me, myself, and the Holy Ghost is saying that it's me, like when people say it's just me against the world, but it's not just me against the world. It's me and it's God, you know? And in this track is a time frame where, you know, I had had enough of people coming in and coming out of my life, you know. But God, He never left.
Absolutely.
You know?
I think it's it's a very good thing that you're sharing your faith, along with describing your struggles and, you know, putting poetry into your music and describing different circumstances in your life, that you've brought your faith into this, and that's something that I admire. I'm a Christian myself, so I can relate.
Yeah. And Teflon the Don is featuring on this track and also produced that beat.
Amazing stuff. Another title that stands out to me is Victory March.
Yeah.
Now, tell us about Victory March. I know it's Teflon the Don that produced this as well.
Yeah.
So give us like what to expect. What should we expect? The beat, the schemes.
Okay. So Victory March, I'm gonna start with what that means, what the track means, and why it's an important track to have in there. Yeah. Because you know what? After everything that happened, that was designed to kill me, I made it through. You know, I made it through, and Victory March is that kind of like, and it's the final track on the album because it's saying, you know, you can go through all kinds of things. You can go through heartbreak, you can go through loss, you can go through life-altering controversies, but you can always make it through. You know, you can always make it through. Keep pushing, keep fighting. You're not done until you're done. And of course, what I believe is that you should also ask God to help you. That's my belief.
That's amazing. I mean, when you were breaking it down, I had this powerful image that just came to my mind of it's like the music after you've come out of the rubble kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's like the Victory March. Now you've made it through the rubble, and that
exactly
that came to mind whilst you were speaking. So I feel like this is a very important piece of work in terms of it can be categorized as an inspirational piece. And the time of the year that you're choosing to release it as well is so appropriate, because this is time of the year when people have more time to spend, you know, to, you know, indulge in entertainment and things like that. So it's a very interesting Christmas gift to us all. I was just wondering if you have any final words for us, in terms of, you know, you're sharing your own personal journey, which is great. It's important. But us as people as well, we all go through our own stuff in different ways.
Yeah.
And I think this is quite an uplifting thing that you've done. Any final words for the project?
Yeah.
As we conclude? Sure.
So basically, this album is, to break it all down, this album is my story. It's what I've been through. It is the things I've had to overcome.
Right.
This is the most vulnerable and open I have been on a project. I want to say that there are some songs on here where I'm angry. There are some songs on here where I'm sad. There are some songs on here where I couldn't give a yeah. There are some songs on here where, you know, I'm learning, I'm seeing the light a little bit more. There is a variety of songs, and I urge people to go and listen to this because I want people to know it's okay, and you should share your story. I think when you come through things, sharing your story gives others the strength and knowledge that they can also overcome. You know, I'm not a superhero. I'm a person who decided that this wasn't going to break me. And I think that I also want to state, because it is important, I'm no longer in the place of some of these tracks. And one of the major things that I want to also put out there is that I have learned forgiveness. because some of these tracks you will not hear forgiveness, you will hear anger. But I've learned forgiveness. This has been a process. And I also want to say to people that I want to release a song called Not Sorry. I think there is a time for a sorry, and there is a time for a not sorry. I think the not sorry energy is more on things that you shouldn't apologize for, because you know you didn't do anything. There is a time for a sorry, though. There is a time for a sorry. And I certainly feel my part to play in what unfolded. I'm willing to accept that, and I'm willing to apologize for that. And I'm willing to also forgive for the things that happened as well.
Absolutely.
And I want people to take that message, man. I really do. Because, you know, I've looked around, and I think that this is something a lot of people struggle with, is pride. So the reason I'm saying all of that is because there are songs on here that if you only listen to these songs, you may be misguided by what I want people to take from the entire project.
I know what you mean. Yeah. I mean, I'm Not Sorry is one of my favorite Mr. Haz's tracks. If you haven't heard it, you need to go check it out. It's mental. It's really great. You've demonstrated a lot of growth in the way that you express accountability and how you feel about accountability. That's so important. So yeah, I've been Gorygang. This is Mr. Haz, the one and only.
Mr. Haz. Before we get out of here as well, I want to say thank you very much to all the artists and producers who have put in a lot of work and time on this project. You're all amazing, fantastic people. I'm next to one of them now, so I can say it to your face. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Make sure you go and check it out. It's going to be out in January. It's coming to you. Make sure you check it out. Thank you very much for joining, man.